Hey wonderful human beings, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Remy and I share lots of vegan content and tips to help you live well. And today we're going to be doing a very seasonal what I eat in a day video. Everything is going to be vegan and gluten-free, of course, because I am vegan and I can't eat gluten. And I thought we could really make today all about pumpkin. So for the entire day, I'm going to be eating only pumpkin recipes to really embrace that fall spirit and show you guys some fun seasonal recipes. So we're going to start with breakfast, and I'm going to be making a simple pumpkin pie protein smoothie, and then we'll do some more exciting things later on in the day. So the first thing I'm going to do is make some milk because I just realized that I ran out, but I thought, why not make some pumpkin seed milk? So instead of going to the grocery store last night, I just soaked some pumpkin seeds in some filtered water, and we're gonna make some milk using the almond cow. I just thought, why not go extra pumpkin today? I just put my little pumpkin seeds in there. I'm gonna screw this onto the lid. I'm gonna need 2 hands for this, and then I've already got filtered water in the base, and then we blend. Milk is done, and there we go, pumpkin seed milk. It does have a little bit of a green tint to it. It's not showing on the camera, but kind of like a pistachio color. But the really nice thing is, since you don't have to strain anything, you can just pour this all into the jar and save the pulp for something else. Now that the milk is done, I'm gonna make the smoothie, and for the base, I'm using bananas and also frozen pumpkin puree. So I just put it into like this ice cube tray. I didn't do the neatest job yesterday, but that's gonna be the frozen base. And then I'm also gonna be adding vanilla protein powder. This is the brand that I always use, my personal favorite, which I'll link in the description box for you guys. And of course, we need some pumpkin pie spice. I've been having a little bit of a weird reaction to pumpkin spice lately, and I think it's one of the spices that makes the blend. So instead, I'm just gonna use a lot of cinnamon because I know I'm good with cinnamon. And then I'll also add a little bit of vanilla extract and probably some turmeric for color, but also the health benefits and a little pinch of black pepper just to, you know, boost up that turmeric goodness. So that's what I'm gonna make, and let's throw it in the blender. And there we go, nice and thick. Pumpkin pie protein smoothie, and it's so delicious. I wish you guys could taste this. All right, let's try it. It's actually a little bit too thick to be drinking it with a straw, but I like my smoothies thick, so. This actually tastes like pumpkin pie. This is so good. I think I'm gonna actually turn this into a recipe on the blog. I know there are probably a million pumpkin pie smoothie recipes out there already. Yeah, wow, this is the best smoothie I've had in a very long time. It's been a little while, and now we're gonna make some lunch. And for lunch, I wanna show you how to make pumpkin gnocchi. This is a recipe that I shared on my Instagram in like a Reels video. I think I also put it on TikTok. And I have some leftover dough in a stasher bag here, so I can show you how I roll it to make the shapes, so I don't have to start from scratch to show you guys. But it's actually super quick even if you are starting from scratch. It is just oat flour and pumpkin puree. I'll leave that recipe in the description box as well. But let's get to rolling. So this is my leftover dough. I'm just gonna warm it up a little bit because it's been in the fridge. And then I'm gonna divide it into pieces and make like long snake shapes. This is super simple. Like I said, it's just oat flour and pumpkin puree. So it really doesn't take that long. The most tedious part is just turning it into the gnocchi shapes, which I'm about to do right now. So I've rolled the dough out into this long snake-like shape, and then I'm gonna use a knife or something sharp just to make kind of like, not necessarily squares, but kind of rectangular shapes. I like mine a little bit on the long side, though I guess it doesn't really matter. It's kind of up to you shape-wise. And then I'll grab one of these pieces and lay the back of a fork here, and then press down gently so that it picks up the pattern on the fork, and it kind of looks something like this. And you don't have to do this. This step is definitely optional as well, but I feel like it's really nice for picking up extra sauce and like capturing that flavor in the grooves. So I personally love a textured pasta, but it's totally up to you. I'll just do a few more to show you, and this works better with fresh dough, but I am using like day-old dough right now. I was gonna boil up the gnocchi, but instead I actually found some leftover gnocchi that I had already sauteed with herbs. I'm just gonna quickly reheat them and show you how I season them. But you can really cook this with any sauce that you'd like. I have a creamy pumpkin tahini sauce that is delicious and would be amazing with this. Even like a mac and cheese sauce would be good, or a marinara would be good. It definitely has pumpkin flavor, but it's not too overwhelming. So you could pair this with basically any sauce that you'd like, but I'm gonna show you really quickly how to do it with herbs and olive oil. It's probably the quickest and it's really delicious and an easy way to just make it a dish. I'm tossing in the leftover gnocchi with a little bit of extra olive oil. And you can see we've got some sliced garlic and fresh herbs in there already, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add some extra fresh herbs. You could also use a little bit of vegan butter if you prefer, but the olive oil will just bring out the flavors in the herbs. I should have actually let the herbs cook down a little bit first, but I'm gonna just give it a good toss, and that's basically it. Salt and pepper, and yeah, super simple. Lunch is ready. It smells amazing. A little close up for you. The gnocchi gets nice and toasted and picks up all of the flavor from the herbs. And it's really simple to make. The gnocchi does take a little bit of time just to roll out the pieces and form the dough, but you don't have to wait for it to rise or anything like that. So it's actually quite simple if you have some helping hands. And this is just about the laziest way to prepare it ever, but it is really delicious. Garlic and herbs are really all you need sometimes. And here is the gnocchi. It's so good. This is the type of recipe that looks way more impressive than it really is. And I am just so happy that I had this left over because it's the easiest meal, especially when you're just heating it up. So that is my pumpkin lunch. I'm gonna dig into this and I will see you guys at dinner. Back ready for dinner and super excited about this one because there's very little cooking involved. I actually am having leftovers once again, and this is a pumpkin lentil soup that I've already shared to the blog, and you guys have been remaking this a ton on Instagram. What I love about it is that the lentils are in there, which gives it a nice boost of protein and fiber, and it feels like an actual meal. I personally am not usually one to get full off of a soup unless it has like noodles or rice in it or something like that. So this is like the perfect solution when you literally just want soup, but also want something a little bit more nourishing and satiating. And basically, it has this beautiful orange color from pumpkin, but also turmeric as well. And you don't taste the turmeric at all. It's really just in there for a boost of color and also a little immune system support. So I'm gonna heat that up and we're gonna serve this with a side of pumpkin bread. Oh, this is like the most exciting thing that I've made this year, I think. So I make my own gluten-free sourdough. I have a highlight on Instagram all about it. And I saw this idea on Pinterest and on TikTok where people were making pumpkin-shaped loaves by tying up their loaves with string. So let me show you because it actually worked and I'm so excited about it. I had to cut it in half already because it was just too big to store without slicing into it. But I wanted to wait to show you guys the loaf in all of its glory before I turned it into slices. Like, look! It's a pumpkin-shaped loaf. It actually kind of looks like a butt from certain angles, but I love it. There is no pumpkin in it, although I think that could be very doable. I personally have not experimented with anything added to my loaves just because I feel like gluten-free sourdough is a little fickle sometimes, and in all of my baking batches, very proud to say that I've only botched like one beyond the point of like being able to eat the bread. And so I don't know, I guess it's like the flours get really expensive when you're using all these like funky alternatives, and I just didn't want to experiment. I wasn't feeling bold enough, but if you want to see some cool sourdough, my friend Lisa, the Viet Vegan on YouTube, she actually does like so many cool swirls and like colors. She's using regular wheat flour, but sometimes I just look at her loaves and I'm like, if only I could eat gluten. Anyways, let's heat up the soup because I am actually pretty hungry. And then we're gonna slice this bread and that will be dinner. So here is the pumpkin soup. It's extra silky. I added just a little bit of extra liquid to make it a little thinner because it does thicken up in the fridge. I love this soup. I also toasted up a slice of that pumpkin sourdough that I baked, and I put a little bit of vegan butter on it. I just love a good crusty piece of bread. Let's do a little sourdough ASMR. I love a good crust. So I'm gonna finish up my dinner and then I'm gonna go for a little evening walk, and I'm gonna walk to dessert, which will also be pumpkin. And I'm gonna get some pressed juicery pumpkin freeze. It's seasonal, it's so good. They just started allowing people to like actually go into the shop, which is great because I don't feel as bad. Like when I would have to pick it up, you'd have to get it with a plastic lid on top, and I just felt like that was kind of unnecessary. So only had it like 2 or 3 times during quarantine, but now I'm so excited I can pick it up, be like, no lid, no thank you, bring my own spoon. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this up and then we'll head to dessert. Here we are, right there. New pumpkin freeze. Pumpkin freeze with almond butter drizzle and almond flakes, and she did such a beautiful job. It looks gorgeous. She's an artiste. I can't find a good spot to put my camera down and like take my mask off fully, so I'm just taking bites in between. But I've had this before and I always look forward to it every year when it's in season. Such a good flavor. Highly recommend with almond butter or granola butter and the praline crunch. Really, really good. But I'm gonna continue eating this and slowly make my way home. Back home, pumpkin freeze is in the belly. I'm actually really full. Everything I had today was delicious, but also very hearty and filling. So once again, I'll leave all the recipe links in the description box below if you want to try them out. Let me know if you do, let me know what you think of them, and I will see you guys in another video soon. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up because it really supports my channel, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the little notification bell button. Bye!